and welcome to the weekly clinic. This week's topic is instructional leadership. I'm Meredith Antisi for those of you who don't know me. So the leadership context, the role is a manufacturing engineering manager. So for the rest of this presentation, I will be the manufacturing engineering manager explaining my leadership style. So my supervisor is an aerospace engineering manager, and I am the manager for a facility, Carlisle Interconnect Technologies, located here in Franklin, Wisconsin. As most of you know, we have about 250 employees, and about 10 out of the 15 departments are supported by manufacturing engineering. The direct reports that I am in charge of includes 9 engineers, 3 master data clerks, and 2 testing technicians. So work to make the boss and other employees look good. That's kind of the basis for my personal instructional leadership philosophy. So a good leader, in my view, would promote the following things: transparency and trust, employee differentiation, collaborative teams, multicultural engagements, encourage innovation, compensation based on merit, mentorship programs. So I'm going to kind of talk to you guys about each of these individually and explain where I'm going with them. The only one I'm not going to get into more on details is the compensation based on merit. But what I basically mean by that is the employees, if they prove themselves that they do a good job, they would get raises based on that. It's not who you know. It's not if your brother's the CEO. None of that. It's based strictly on what you produce, how your attitude is. So I'm going to go through each of these and explain what I mean by them. So transparency and trust. So the employees get to choose their deadlines and the projects they work on. So this is kind of promise-based management skills. If they choose their deadlines, they're going to make them public and voluntary. So they're going to tell me when they can get things done, allowing them to check their schedule, to really take responsibility, and to show me that they can be trusted. They'll also do this publicly. So a lot of people are going to see them say, okay, I'll get it done by this. That kind of adds some pressure to them. So it's really to get their trust. And they also have the power to choose the projects they work on. My reasoning for this is when people love something and are really passionate about it, they're going to put 110%. So I want them to tell me what projects that they feel they're going to succeed in so that I can make sure that they can work on that to give me that extra oomph. Now, as a manager, I'm also going to try to be very transparent and give them as much information as possible so that they will trust me. And to relay this information, I'm going to have monthly meetings with each individual member, and as a team, we're going to have weekly meetings. This will be my time to really let them know what's going on, the information I learned. I'm also going to have lunch with a team member every week to get to know them on a more personal level. So I'll go through each member on our team and have lunch with them once a week to get to know them, about their family, let them know that I really care. I'm going to try to do my best to be respectful and honest and lead as an example. If I'm respectful to them, I'm expecting them to be respectful to me. Employee differentiation. So the office. Each cubicle is going to be equipped with either a chair or a yoga ball, or both if they desire. This is really going to give them the option to sit in a traditional chair or to be able to move around on a yoga ball, just to get some energy flowing, help creativity become boosted. The employees will also be provided with a laptop to give them the ability to go work out on the production floor if needed, to move and go into the cafeteria, work there for a little bit, really switch up the scenery to help them stay focused, help them be effective employees. They'll also have ergonomically friendly equipment, both keyboards, both mouses, whatever they personally desire to help get the strain off their body. Appraisals are also going to be catered for each individual employee. So there'll be 360-degree feedback, which will allow myself to actually get criticized by them too. There'll also be customized evaluations for each employee. So they're going to be based on the core values of the company, and I'm going to work with HR to make sure that we are in compliance, but it's really going to be catered to that specific employee, and it's going to help them with their professional goals. The employee also gets to choose how the appraisal is communicated, whether it's a paper copy, whether I email them it, whether we have a meeting, whether they want me to show them a YouTube clip about what I'm talking about to help them improve or to show them their strengths, whatever they want, whatever is going to help them learn. I'm going to really recognize that each employee on my team is going to be very different and have very different styles, and I'm going to accept that and accommodate it, not just ignore and pretend like they're all the same. Now, collaborative teams. Like I talked about earlier, you need to lead by example. How can you hold people accountable for certain standards and expectations if you don't do them yourself? So that's the big thing. Provide the appropriate resources and training. I can't expect them to get their work done if they don't have the resources needed. And that means training. If they need a certain training on whether it's Excel or programming or anything like that, I'm going to do my best to make sure that that is provided. Now, I use the word appropriate resources because sometimes I do have to say no. But if they can justify it and give me a legitimate reason for it, I will be sure to provide them with that. I also want to reduce confusion. Again, that's back to the expectations. I'm going to give them my expectations up front and address any concerns before the issue is confronted. I also want to invest in the team, my time. Like I said with the lunches, I'm going to meet with them on a personal level. I'm going to have the meetings so they have me with them when they need them. I'm also going to win and lose as a team. That's going to be the attitude that I really want to have running through the core of the team. We all win as a team, and we also lose as a team. So each person is going to have ownership of their work. Multicultural engagement. So time will be allotted for employees to learn about employee and customer cultures. Now, when I say time allotted, either we'll have certain meetings or we'll have part of their schedule will be designated time for this. But if we have customers that happen to be from Asia or Europe, I want to really respect them and their customs. I don't want to come off as rude because my culture is different. So our team is really going to engage that. If we have a team member that is also a different culture, same thing. I really want the team to take the time to learn about the different culture. And adaptation. This is going to be a dynamic thing. So if we need to change around stuff at all, that is fine. We are going to adapt when needed. Like learn about the other cultures. Structural intervention. The team is going to be based on employee strengths. So if we have certain projects, I'm going to place the employees. I'm going to place somebody that is good at putting the report together, somebody that is good with the details, somebody with other expertise. I want the team to have a good variety of people, and I'm going to put certain people together based on their strengths. Now, part of that is not every team or job is for everyone. So I'll reconstruct as needed. And that's part of the adaptation and the dynamic culture about changing things if they're not working. So if a certain team is not meshing well together, that's when I'm going to come in and restructure. Innovation. There's going to be a box outside my office for ideas. So they can put a note in there or anything they want at any time. I'm also going to have monthly meetings to discuss new ideas or areas for continuous improvement. And I'm not going to put a requirement on new ideas. So no one is going to be forced to think of an idea. I really feel like that kind of squishes your creativity and forces you to produce semi-par things. The mentorship program. So each team member is going to be given a mentor for their first year. This person can help them with questions, give them advice. It'll be someone for them to have monthly lunches with. This person will provide them company or customer tours if applicable, and this person will help them with their professional development. They'll help them make their own goals for themselves, and they'll help them achieve what they need to get done. Now, if a person desires a mentor after their first year, I'm going to certainly supply that for them. So they can either have the mentor that they were first assigned, or they can get a new one. Now, the enlistment plan. It really starts with the team member recruitment. So if the team is all on the same page with the plan, they're more likely to go along with it. So some desired qualities that I'm going to look for in the team that is going to work for me includes passion. So I don't want people that are just necessarily here for a paycheck. I want them to really care. Again, we talked about this before. If you're passionate about something, you're going to be more productive. They need to show initiative and be ambitious. They need to have a desire and willingness to learn. I recognize they're not going to know everything, but if they have that eagerness to learn, that is something we can work with. People skills. This is very important. Being able to communicate with others. There's a lot of things that can be taught, like competency of machinery or manufacturing or any of that type of stuff. But people skills is a lot more difficult to teach. They need to be honest. They need to be a team player, or they need to be able to work by themselves. And they also should have a positive attitude and be orientation. Now, employee acceptance. So the employees are displaying the desired qualities will be hired. So like we talked about before, if they display those qualities, then I feel like they're gonna go along with my management style. The orientation will also display the instructional philosophy method. So everything I'm talking to you guys about right now is going to be given to them. I'm going to give them the same presentation, and at that point, I want the initial feedback. I want to know what they're thinking. I want to address any initial concerns that they foresee happening. And like I said, the employees really get to customize their goals and appraisals to help them grow professionally. I am going to accept differences between people. Everybody's different, and I really think that that should be embraced and utilized to help them grow. Not everybody should be clumped in the same group. So I'm going to try to differentiate as much as possible, whether it's appraisals, whether it's giving them a laptop so some people can go walk around or do what they need to do to get them to be the most effective. And finally, this is a dynamic philosophy. So if the instructional leadership isn't going well, I'm going to change it. If we're not meeting our metrics, if somebody doesn't like something on the team, we're going to really change it. I'm going to restructure it. I might keep some things that are working, because if it's not broken, I'm not going to fix it. But it's really going to be open for that change. Continuous improvement. Being an engineering manager, I'm all about making things better. So some additional information. These are some resources, some articles from Harvard Business, as well as the Danielson framework book that I talked about earlier. These are some additional resources available, and this presentation will be available for you guys on the internet, so feel free to go back and look some of these sources up. Does anybody have any questions? No? Okay. Just to let you guys all know, next week's clinic topic is effective team building, and John Doe is going to be putting that one on for you. So thank you for your time.